Be content. Contentment is a Christ-like quality that reflects trust in God's provision and a heart at peace with His plans. The Bible encourages us to pursue contentment in 1 Timothy 6:8. But godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. Contentment doesn't mean complacency, but a deep satisfaction and gratitude for what God has provided, regardless of our circumstances. In a culture driven by consumerism, comparison, and a desire for more, learning to be content can be challenging. Yet contentment brings freedom from the constant pursuit of material possessions or worldly success. It shifts our focus from what we lack to the abundance of God's blessings in our lives. Here are practical ways to cultivate contentment. Practice gratitude daily. Contentment begins with a grateful heart. Take time each day to thank God for His blessings, big and small. Philippians 4:6 reminds us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your requests be made known to God." Consider keeping a gratitude journal to regularly reflect on God's goodness. Trust in God's provision. Contentment flows from trusting that God will meet your needs. Reflect on Matthew 6:31-33. Do not be anxious, saying, "What shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear?" But seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Remind yourself of God's faithfulness in the past. Avoid comparisons. Comparing yourself to others often breeds discontentment. Social media, in particular, can fuel feelings of inadequacy. Instead of focusing on what others have, celebrate their blessings and trust God's unique plan for your life. Galatians 6:4 encourages, "Let each one test his own work, and then his reason to boast will be in himself alone and not in his neighbor." Simplify your life. Declutter your physical and mental spaces to focus on what truly matters. Embrace a lifestyle that prioritizes relationships, spiritual growth, and meaningful experiences over material possessions. Luke 12:15 warns, "Take care and be on your guard against all covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions." Celebrate non-material joys. Contentment grows when you find joy in simple, everyday blessings. A sunset time with loved ones or serving others. These moments remind you that true satisfaction comes from God, not material things. Learn to say enough. Recognize when you have enough and resist the urge to constantly pursue more. Philippians 4:11-12 is a powerful reminder. "For I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound." Serve others. Focusing on meeting the needs of others can shift your perspective and grow gratitude for what you have. Volunteering at a shelter or helping a struggling neighbor reminds you of God's blessings in your own life. Meditate on eternal treasures. True contentment comes from focusing on eternal, not temporary things. Reflect on Colossians 3:2. Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. Prioritize your relationship with God over material pursuits. Cultivating contentment is a journey of faith and gratitude. As you learn to be satisfied in God's provision and trust His plan, you'll experience greater peace, freedom, and joy. Contentment allows you to live fully in the present, appreciating God's blessings and glorifying Him in every circumstance.